Hiya Petalheads, quite a bit to show you in today's update as I continue to garden without a garden, if that makes any sense. You'll see how I'm managing that. I've got some more seeds that have been delivered. I've had a live plant delivered, which I'll be potting up and telling you about and showing you me potting it up later on in this video. And there's one or two other little bits of stuff for you to catch up on as well. Right, enjoy the video. Forget-me-nots, I sold them about a week and a half ago. They're starting to come through, but they're still very tiny. They're smaller than your average cress that you'd buy in a pot to snip off and put on sandwiches, if you can picture what I mean. I don't think there's any that are more than a centimetre high yet. None of them have got the true leaves. There's still just a little pair of baby seedling leaves. So we'll see how they do. The plan is when they're ready, I'll pot them on, and then eventually they'll be planted outside in a tub with a rose, which I'll show you later on in this video. Kitchen windowsill seedlings update. Flat leaf parsley in those four there. I've taken out, just move that chive leaf. I've taken out two clumps and I've potted them on. When they're ready, they will end up going in my edibles pot outside in the alley. I've already made a video about these two seedlings, the chives as well. Same thing, I've taken two of the chives out and I've potted them outside in my edibles planter in the alleyway. About 2, maybe 3 days ago, I've planted a section of calendula. There's 2 seeds in each pot. As you can see, I've got 3 coming up already. So after a couple of days, I'm quite happy with that. I've got a section of nasturtiums, Bloody Mary. I've showed you them in a couple of videos ago when I ordered them and got them. And then there are some clumps of spring onions. The variety is Performer. And I put 5 seeds in each of these 4 things. So I'll plant them as a clump, because there's no point growing them individually. You don't really eat them individually. So I thought 5 is a nice number to use when I'm cooking. So these haven't fired yet, but we'll see how they get on. Just been delivered today. I've got around about 30 seeds of all green bush courgette. There's no way in a million years I will need 30 seeds this year. I'm just one person living by myself. I'd say 2 courgette plants would give a family of 4 more courgettes in a growing season than they could ever know what to do with. So I'm not going to be growing all of these. I'll find some like-minded people either at work or locally, and I will be giving some of these seeds away. I might try and just go for the one bush in one of my large black plastic square planters. I've got 3 left that need filling, so we'll see how we do. Also, I have got these today, Sweet Florence Fennel. They are the bulb type of fennel, not the herb type, although there's nothing stopping you using the fronds on these as the herb as well. I love fennel. I'm sure there's a part of me in a former life was an Italian. I love Italian food, and fennel just seems to go so well with a lot of the cooking that I do. So I'll be planting a few of these up, and again I'll have to find some space for them, but I'll get these outside in my alleyway. And also, again, it's that Italian thing, I can't get away from it. Lolo Rosso lettuce. Love this lettuce, it's my favourite lettuce. If I put this on a sandwich or something, I instantly feel posh. I just think it's fantastic. So yeah, I'll be getting quite a bit of that on the go as well. And then in a month or 2, my plan is to have lettuce with whatever it is I'm eating that lettuce will go with, basically. This got delivered yesterday. It's a rose. It's called Special Grandma. This rose, I like it because of the connection with my grandma, but the only connection is the name of the rose. She didn't have this rose or anything like that. I came across this rose quite a few years after her death, and when I lived with my then wife and children in our own house, one of my sisters got me one once for my birthday. I think it was off my Amazon wish list, and I planted it out in the food forest backyard that we had. So I've now got around to getting my own, which will hopefully go in one of the big square black plastic pots in my alleyway. Right, let's get it open. It's delivered as a live plant. I'm not sure yet if it's bare roots. Well, no, that wouldn't be a live plant, would it? What am I on about? So I'm guessing it's shoved in a little pot of soil. Oh, here we go. Looks okay. Looks okay so far. The company is giftaplant.com. And we're going to best do this. Let's have a look. Hang on, let's get rid of that. Get it out. Oh, it looks in quite good condition. Come on. Why am I talking to a plant? I'm saying, come on. What's all that about? Does anyone else talk to the plants? Well, King Charles does, doesn't he? He's quite famous for doing that. What is going on? Come on. Ah, right. I can see my problem. That's getting... Ah. You've seen that all along. Why didn't you say something? You watching this video. Right. Is that going to come now? Oh, yes. Special grandma. Shrub rose. There we go. Right. Let's get it ready. Let's get it ready to put in this big pot. So here's my big pot. I've got 2 of these bad boys left. Probably put the courgette in one, and might do some more edibles in the other. Things like the Florence fennel and the Lolo Rossa lettuce, which I've just got the seeds for today. So let's get this filled up with some compost. The compost I'm using is Miracle Grow peat-free premium all-purpose compost. I had the choice between buying this special grandma rose or a Blue Moon hybrid tea rose. It's not actually blue, it's more of a lilac colour, but there is a suggestion of blue in there. But the special grandma rose won. What I'm doing here is I'm just checking the level of the bottom of the plant stem, where it meets the soil it came in the pot with, against the height of my pot. Obviously you don't want the plant planting higher than the height of your pot, because if you think about it, the soil's just going to get washed off and run away in the rain. I'm also gently teasing out some of the roots. This should encourage it to put those roots out into the surrounding compost in the pot and not just stay and keep going round and round. I'm happy now with the overall depth of the rows, so what I'm going to do is just keep going round the pot, adding up compost, so that the compost I've added is going to be level with the soil that it came in the pot, where the bottom of the stem goes into that soil. Right, I planted it in like the back third of the planter, which has left quite an open space, roughly 6 or 7 inches at what's going to be the front of the planter. My plan is that in here is where I'm going to plant forget-me-nots. So I've got the special rose grandma, and then the forget-me-nots, I have a connection with my granddad to forget-me-nots, and this is an actual real plant connection, not just the name of them. On the day of his funeral years ago, most of the family went round to his house after the funeral, and I pulled up just 3 clumps of forget-me-nots from his front garden. He wasn't really a gardener, my granddad, but I tell you what, he had the cleanest paving slabs and concrete in the whole of the northwest of England. He used to buy bleach by the tens of litres, and he was constantly bleaching his paths, and they were gleaming. They were fantastic. So luckily his forget-me-nots survived the bleach. I'm going to plant the forget-me-nots, which I showed you early in this video, in the front. So I've got my grandma and my granddad, which is just going to be lovely. What I'm doing now is I'm just using up some spare compost and perlite, which I've mixed up in order to take some carnation cuttings with. I'll tickle that into the soil along with some blood, fish and bone fertiliser. The blood fish bone, or fish blood bone, whatever you want to call it, fertiliser contains 3 main ingredients: nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. The nitrogen gives you healthy leaves on the plant, the phosphorus promotes good strong root growth, and potassium, or sometimes known as potash, is good for flower production. And there we are, planted what is going to be an absolutely beautiful rose. I'm not going to water it now because it'll make it a little bit heavy to lift outside and put in the alley, so I'll water it once it's outside. So it's a shrub rose. It's got a nice fragrance. I do remember from the last time I had one of these roses, they do smell nice. Not quite large flower heads on them, and it's what they call a repeat flowering rose. So if you keep picking the roses off and deadheading them as well, it'll reward you with just producing more and more roses during the growing season. I could mulch it, any organic material really around the bottom of the rose there, just to help keep the weeds down, retain moisture in the soil, that kind of thing. Like I say, I'm going to plant some clumps of forget-me-nots at the front, so I'll get my thinking cap on what I could use for mulch. There's loads of things I could use. You can even just put more compost on. Likes being deadheaded, and it'll reward you with lots more flowers. So it'll grow about 1 metre tall, 1/2 metre wide, and yeah, it should be fine in this really big pot. So yeah, I cannot wait for when it flowers, and I'll you know there's going to be updates about it. Also there'll be pictures on my Instagram, my Twitter, and the Petals on the Paving Slabs Facebook page. Now what I'll do is I will put a link to the rose, the flower pots, in my Petals on the Paving Slabs Amazon store. I'm an Amazon affiliate, so what that means is if you see the link to my Amazon store in the description to this video, if you click on that link, anything you buy for yourself from my Amazon store, the Petals on the Paving Slabs Amazon store, I will get a little payback from Amazon, a few pence per item. It's not going to enable me to retire, but what it will do is it'll just help me every now and again. Gives me a couple of quid which you can buy a packet of seeds with, or maybe a bag of compost, that kind of thing. What you'll find in my Amazon store is mainly things that I've grown or used myself, and if I think they're any good, I put a link to that product in the Amazon storefront page, so you can get it yourself if needs be. Right, yeah, I've got to get this outside now and water it. Although it's raining at the moment, I'm gonna wait till the rain stops. I just can't be bothered getting wet. The weather's been shocking, hasn't it, last few days in the UK? Not good. Right, see you later, guys. Thanks so much for watching.